What's poppin' peons, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, hey, if you've been here, what's poppin'? We are doing an episode of Sunshine's Bakery. So that means we're going to get baked, and I want to talk about should I baked. I'm totally gonna pick out on these later. But these are Johnny cakes. I know you're like, yeah, I ended up putting like cold butter on cold pastries because I'm gonna heat them back up, and I just decided to be lazy. But these are the Johnny cakes, and they're in the shape of a heart, you guys. It looks like the shape of a beautiful heart. Cause you know your girl be baking. But yeah, your girl bakes. But speaking of baking, I will be getting baked this episode, and it's Valentine's Day. So I want to talk about some shit, some good love, some bad love, and self-love, because let's just really get into it, shall we? Um, so we're gonna get baked. So that means we're gonna take a talk together. I always usually like fuck up on this part of the video, especially when it comes down to like to talking, cause like a part of me would be like, oh my gosh, like together. I forget to say together. So ugh, ugh, my bum bum, my bum bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so I think I'm ready. Why am I so nervous? Because I think I'm going to say some shit that's going to piss y'all off. Oh, well. Together. So, you know what? A double take, a double shot. A double take, a double shot? Or is it a double take, a double shot? Or is it a mental shake, a mental rock? I don't know. I'm just talking shit, and I ain't even beginning the video yet. Y'all know what I really wish I could do? I really wish all the interviews I had prior beforehand would have gone up, and like I would have did, because I like the 85 South show, because it's kind of how I want to do my shit. But niggas was just canceling. Niggas had girlfriends, issues, and shit like that. Bitches was like, I don't want you recording with her. And I used to be like, ugh, I get it. But like, could this have happened after the interview? You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. But no. Happy Valentine's Day, peons, and I hope that you guys are living and loving today. Whether you're single, taking, getting divorce papers, not getting divorce papers, getting married, getting proposed to, like, shout out to y'all and y'all lovers out there, because baby, love is a beautiful thing. If I was not purposely being single, I would probably be out there like, yeah, that's about it, ain't it? That'll do it. So I first want to talk about the good and bad type of love that I kind of been seeing on my timeline, because quite frankly, I just wanted to come on here and say happy Valentine's Day, but I did come on here to get some shit off my motherfucking chest. So let's go begin. Let me loosen up my wig in the back. So this is what makes me so mad and hurts my little emotional capacities and whatnot, right? So yeah. Um to the passport bros, we as black women do not give a fuck that you're not choosing us, and I really hate to see the fucking narrative. Every time I see a passport bro say something cringe, I'm just like, yuck. And I'm telling y'all right now, I don't know how I got to this side of TikTok where it's just passport bros this, and I'm just like, I promise you, I don't give a fuck that much. And no matter how much I block, no matter how much I do this, like their message just seems to keep on getting pushed through. And if it's not the passport bros, it's the alpha males who have so much to say about women and how they can't respect them. And my God, my golly gee, you niggas make me sick to the core, because if it's not the passport bros trying to be like they're not fit, feminine, and this, that, and the third, and then marrying these women, and when they come over here, when the women realize that they're not shit and that they've been used and they get a divorce or they want to get a divorce, then it's the American woman, I gotta go out of state. Like, literally, out of country. Like, literally every time I go to these countries, they have names for y'all. I literally seen this dude brag about being a passport bro, and I was just like, oh, us men's, this is, I was like, y'all always, it's always the illiterate ass, non-reading, I want to control something but not really ass niggas. And I was like, even the bitches over states are getting sick of y'all. Like, literally, they say that it's not enough, they say they just, the people y'all preference that y'all be, they're better. Yeah, the ones that's delusional, the ones that be like, oh, these are our kings now, are the same bitches that be on the internet years later crying, these are our kings now. And I'm just sick of it. The alpha males. I literally heard one of my favorites on YouTube literally say that he wished that we could go back to the old days where he could whoop on bitches. And I was like, not you saying you want to whoop bitches and get away with it. Talking about some, yeah, man, I just wanted to whoop bitches' asses. Like, back in the day, if a bitch ain't have your food cooked, I was like, why do you men? And then I go to the comments underneath the video, and niggas is just like, yeah, man, I'm a woman. I've never picked up the feminist movement. So you mean to tell me you're willing to give up autonomy for a partner? You're giving up autonomy for a partner who wants to control you, and the only reason why they want to control you is because if they can't control nothing else, they want to control you. And I was just like, I was riding with this man on a lot of things, but when he said that he want to go back to days when he was way where you could just, and sometimes I just want to ask y'all, do y'all want to play role reversal? Because let it be your woman be the breadwinner. Let her come home and let them kids not be taken care of. And the food not finished. And the house is filthy. And ain't shit done in the house. And let that bitch smack you upside your head. You gonna lose your shit. Let you not have a bank account. Let you not be able to go do all of these other things. And then when they come on the internet, they was like, our grandmothers were so happy. Your grandmother was on drugs. Heavily. Prescribed heavily. My great grandma told me that back in the day, her husband, because back in the day, like, if the husband felt like the wife had, like, lost their shit, that the husbands can go get them on happy pills, right? So they dope them up while they were depressed. Doped up and motherfucking pressed. Doped and depressed. Oh, yeah. My grandma taught me so much shit from my great grandma. Like, literally, I remember sitting underneath my great grandma, water in the throat, sick as a dog, who had let a man beat on her for years, so our kids didn't talk to her. Tell me, well, her kids were upset. You don't ever let no man do shit to you. And before you say, oh, you're just saying that from a woman's perspective, I have father figures, okay? And quite frankly, I just really genuinely want to say this. I have father figures. Multiple father figures. Yep. And they volunteered to do their job. They showed up and they showed out. Well, my biological did not. and I didn't have to beg or ask for it. So I know what it's like to be treated right by a man. I know what it's like to be treated but with excellence. Okay, my father, yeah, stepfather who acts just like my biological father, better than my biological father, has always gave my mom a soft life. My mom wants to work. My father never stopped my mother. My mother wanted to be the breadwinner. My father let that happen, and he took on the brunt of the household work because my mom said she didn't want to do household work anymore. My father, he works outside of the house and still does household work. The emotional shit that my mom can't handle. So if you tell me, your father's a simp, bitch, be fucking for real. A lot of y'all are screaming alpha, but don't even know how to take care of y'all woman. Y'all don't know when y'all woman is PMSing. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't pay attention to half the shit y'all should be. Y'all be screaming, I'm an alpha male. Y'all be wanting control of something so bad. But if you play role reversal, then that's not work. That's not gonna work for me because emotional labor. Sometimes when men hear that shit, they like, ooh, that's soft. That's gay as fuck. It's not gonna hurt you getting them feelings, baby. It ain't gonna hurt the crack some of that down. Or when they be hear shit like, oh, cooking and cleaning, it's not what I'm supposed to do. Isn't that what you supposed to know how to do to survive, my guy? Cook and clean? A dirty house will kill you. Enough bacteria will kill you. Not eating will kill you. Not starving yourself will. Cause Because everybody is not in a relationship right now. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. And if you're not cooking and cleaning for yourself or have or know an idea of how to do so, how are you alive? Is your health looking well? If you don't handle that emotional damage that you may or may not have, man, woman, he, she, they, whatever you identify as, you, they, them, her, she, them, him, whatever you are, you're not going to be okay. You're going to be fucked up psychologically. You're going to be depressed. You're not going to know why you're depressed. You're going to be sad. And all you have to do is just tap into them emotions. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to not like something, but it's not okay to disrespect. And this goes for the pick-me's. This goes for the people the men and women who feel like they can't respect people if they go above a certain octave or if they're not doing a feminine job as a woman. This goes directly to you, man and woman. Take the dick out your mouth. We don't practicing the patriarchy, misogyny, and misogyny will get you nowhere. Especially misogyny. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Look it up. Study it. Read. And if you don't understand what I'm saying because some of the words that I may be saying are too big or too strong, and it's okay, because I'm telling y'all right now that I'm not taking to get y'all. But me, myself, and yes, me, had a extremely hard time. Damn near cried when I was listening to somebody who I wanted to yesterday, and they said a word that was big as fuck, and I remember it because as I went to college, and I remember retaking a psychology class because I just couldn't get it, and it was one of those concepts that I did not understand. So when he went there, he had lost me for a minute. I literally had to go back, and then he said another word, and I was like, shit, I hated this topic. And I went back and I studied it some more, and I came back to understand it again. So if some of the words that are coming out my mouth are a little too big for you, because sometimes the words are big, it's okay to stop and go look and see what I'm talking about. Because before you say, I'm not a misogynist, I just think that women should be doing this. And if it's rooted in control, submission, them not having any autonomy, any rights or anything like that, it might be misogyny. If you say that you are pro-life, So you are anti-abortion, and you're like, as a woman, and you should want to. You might be practicing misogyny because women have the right to say that they don't want to have something. I know. We say these women are awful creatures and shit like that, but yes, men and women can be both awful creatures, and so can they, them. So when you come and you say, "Oh man, there you go with the gay stuff again. It's not natural." Homosexuality's been around for years. You can feel like it's unnatural all you want to. You're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But literally, take the patriarch and the misogyny elsewhere. Like, the reason why some of y'all are single now is not because y'all are not good people. It's because y'all practice misogyny and the patriarch. And some of y'all could be real great partners if y'all let go some of them things that's holding y'all back. Like, some of y'all refuse to tap into emotional intelligence. Some of y'all refuse to admit that you're the problem. Some of y'all do shit like the passport bros. The passport bros get roasted. Like, in real life, people think they're cornballs and losers. Like, the truth be told, people look at them and they say cornball and losers. Like, literally, I think when they like go to China and shit like that, and they find out it's a matriarch and that they can actually die there, some of them actually leave. But before they get kicked out of the country, because the men in the country do not play about their women, they call them losers back home, and then they go share with people, and then this kind of like blow up their spot. Really, I think their community is great when they do that shit, because it's like the passport bros are the same people that saying that, oh, women are not fit, feminine, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you need a woman to talk to you a certain type of way. Like, are you slow? Is your emotional intelligence not there? And I'm telling you, like, if you cannot get with somebody getting upset or handle emotions, this is where emotional intelligence comes in, outside of happy, or or you can't take criticism and you're gonna take it like what you call it, because a lot of times people think they're getting attacked when in reality they're just getting told how they're coming off to other people. Like, i.e., I used to think that it was an attack when people did not like the fact that I said like a lot. I say like a lot because I like the word like, so I'm gonna say it like a lot, like, because like I like saying like a lot. But no, when it comes down to but like, before I went to therapy, I used to think that people were attacking me. I used to be like, oh, they said I was mean and nasty and cruel and had no boundaries, and I was crossing boundaries. Lo and behold, I was crossing boundaries heavily. Like, if this was the line for boundaries, like, bitch, I was on the other end of the bitch, and I was grown. And like, people like, oh, I can be mean and demanding. I was like, I don't think I could be mean and demanding. Um, my therapist played the reverse game, and I was like, ooh, when people say they don't like that, you gotta respect that. And she used an example to one of my boundaries, because one of my boundaries is I don't like when I make a video or content and people are like, oh my gosh, I saw your video, and then like they want to talk to me about my video, but they want to condemn me for it, but they like want to give me like backwards and be like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I said what I said. And then they'll start acting funny, and then if somebody feels funny around me, I don't like them around me. But sometimes people like to stay with you. And she was like, I don't like weird energy around me. So I'll be like, I really would like for you to give my space. So my therapist was like, I was like, you are awfully close. And then she got closer. I was like, you're a little too close. And then she was like, it's funny. She was like, that is how you come off. And I was like, so I had to learn that. And I used to do that with my best friends. Me and my best friends have grown tremendously from that whole incident, but at the time it was not giving growth and development. It was giving premature underdevelopment. And it was not, it was awful. So when people say shit, do not think of it as an attack, because sometimes people are not attacking you. Sometimes you feel like you're getting attacked because it's not what you want to hear, and your cognitive dissonance will kick in. Cognitive dissonance. I think I say that word wrong, but yeah, like your brain will turn off and you'll be like, nope, everything she's saying is wrong, and it's a defense mechanism. And my therapist gets in my ass a lot. But no, but I do want to talk about some positives though. Like, I know I was talking my shit earlier, but I really honestly want to get on the positives because I got something to say. I got something to say. I got something to say. Hey. I got something to say. But no, I think people who are truly in love and like have a healthy sense of love. And I'm talking about like healthy as in like bare minimum, because some people have different ideas of healthy. Some people think that slapping up your partner is healthy and others don't. I am the part that does not think that putting your hands on your partner is healthy. Um um but like, if you're happy and in love, you don't really have too many like complaints, I feel like you should enjoy it. You don't have to post about it on the world. You don't have to let the whole entire world know who you love. I know people are like, oh, people should know who you love. People should know who you love. But like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm private about my love life. I'll keep my love life so private. I really do. It is so crazy. Like, as much as shit as I talk on the internet, I'm just like, ooh, love life off the internet. Like, when I found out that Lori Harvey had niggas signing NDAs, I was like, shit, bitch, why didn't I think of this shit earlier? And I know you're like, why do you want to? Yeah, if y'all found out, if y'all know who my ex-husband was, bitch, I could make that. Because this nigga, oh my gosh, it was terrible. Mm. But no, hold up, wait. He died. I knew it. I actually want to finish off that one, so this one can come off because I genuinely do want to finish that one off. Because if everything pans out how I want it to be, then I can go back to the smoke shop again, so I'm not really worried. But no, if I'm being completely and utterly honest, the way that I feel is, I feel like if you have somebody in your life that loves you genuinely, I think you should be happy for that. You should be celebrating that shit. A lot of times we feel like we gotta post on the internet for the world and shit like that. Cause I'm not gonna hold you. Like, sometimes when I have a partner, sometimes I wanna like just tell the world. Cause I often hear about how black women can't do this and how black women can't do that and how black women are this and how black. And sometimes I just feel like, oh man, I gotta prove to the world that I can keep a partner. But deep down in my heart, like, I broke up with him because he wanted a baby. And I didn't. He was trying to do reproductive abuse with me. So if you don't know what reproductive abuse is, so reproductive abuse is when your partner knows that you don't want to have a child, and they constantly do everything to try to get you to have a child. So like, if you start using condom, they take the condom off. That's reproductive abuse. If you end up getting pregnant, send their ass to jail. If you tell them no and then they admit to like saying like, hey, I'm trying to get you pregnant, or there's times where you see they're trying to get you pregnant, that's called reproductive abuse. I don't know how you prove that shit in court, but your girl is on Lawyer Talk and on Narc Talk and Lawyer and Narc Talk. It is so beautiful. It is beautiful. And I've actually been looking up this shit that they've been saying. So it is 100% true. Like, each state has different laws about reproductive abuse. Sometimes it's a fee. Sometimes they have to take the child. Sometimes it's a fee and they have to take the child and they have to pay you child support. And oh my gosh, I learned that you can get child support while you're pregnant. I don't think anybody should breed me. Cause bitch, let me get pregnant. Your ass is on child support right away. Right. Especially if we ain't married, bitch. We could be boyfriend and girlfriend. That ass is on child support. Boyfriend and girlfriend and your ass on child support. I don't give a fuck what a bitch say. Your ass is on child support. Don't get me pregnant. Do not get me pregnant. Because if you ain't trying to be like being like keep it like if you ain't trying to be daddy of the year, yeah, that ass is on child support, bitch. Tell you right now, bitch. I told you I ain't want a motherfucking kids, so that ass is on child support. Any nigga that don't want no kids, I'm one of those women who don't want no kids. Oh my gosh, this is supposed to be about love, and I have just been talking shit about. I feel like motherfuckers be on the internet talking shit all day and all night, and today is the day that I want to talk my shit and pop my shit. So that's what I'm going to do. Like, every single time I hear people say shit like, let me be like, as a woman, if I don't respect no woman who has sexual liberation, like, my God, why are you so mad that a woman is choosing that she has not given up her autonomy? It just shows that you want control over somebody's body. Like, the men who are like, I'm anti-abortion. So are you going to take care of the child if the mother says she doesn't want it? Nah, see, as a woman, she's supposed to. Nah. You just don't want to give up your own autonomy. Like, the same man who be like, I don't respect women who are really liberated. Like, if it came up to them giving up their autonomy, like they want women to give up their autonomy, they would shut the fuck up. They would literally have to be fucking muted. Like, anytime they say, but, I feel like as a woman, and it's not both a man and a woman thing, like, be so for real. Because I think the problem that we get, especially with black women, is that we want them to be fit, feminine, and all these other things. But guess what? A lot of y'all don't even really want healthy relationships. Y'all just want control. And the problem is not that, and this is not everybody. So if you don't fall in the category, don't take it to the heart. But most people just want to control shit. Like, most people want the power dynamic to be in theirs instead of it being like 100-100. People like, we want to go 50-50. Nah, giving 50-50 never works out, bitch. You have 50%. Both of you have to give 100%. And emotional labor is not just a woman's job. Your partner should be emotionally available. They should be able to teach. They should be able to tell you or communicate. Like, y'all should know y'all love language. You should know what you like and what you don't like. You should have boundaries. You should have things that matter. Your partner should be able to say, hey, I don't feel like doing this. And it should be like, okay, well, I might be mad because you don't want to do it with me, or they, whatever, he, she, they, them, whatever you identify as, because I respect all of y'all and love y'all from my heart. And I don't know everybody's specific pronouns, okay? Because sometimes I'm she, they, okay? So, she, they, them, you know what I mean? She, her, they, them, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'm she, him. And sometimes I'm him, they, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm just they, them. Depends on how I feel. And I know some of y'all are that all the time, but yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I know y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, there goes that gay shit. And bye. If it offended you, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. But no, like, your partner should show up emotionally available. You should show up emotionally available. You should be able to say, hey, babe, this bothers me. You should have boundaries. You don't have to say yes to everything. As much as people think that I'm a slut and a whore drag, a slut dragon. Because I call myself a slut dragon. Like, as much as I call myself a slut dragon, I do have no nos that I don't do. And it's certain things that I do not cross. And people will be surprised, especially those who don't intend on respecting me. They're like, oh, I didn't know that you had boundaries. Like, I have boundaries. I've always had boundaries. Boundaries didn't just pop up and be like, hi, we're boundaries. Here we are. Boundaries weren't like, boundaries. Like, I genuinely have boundaries. And when people find it out, they're like, And some people get so mad at me. They're like, how dare she have boundaries? How dare I not have boundaries? And that'd be the scary part. How dare I not have boundaries? How dare I not have things that I don't want to do? And I think that you should be able to respect your partner's boundaries. Like, me and my best friend, we had to grow together. And I got new boundaries at one point in time. So now with certain things that we don't do. Certain things that I can't do anymore out of respect for our friendship. Yeah, it's a lot of things that go on that are like that used to be okay that aren't okay now. So it's like, what's one of our new boundaries? I'm a spoiled little brat sometimes. So I kind of get what I want a lot of times. And sometimes I would say sleep. It's one of those things that I used to just like, ugh. I don't even want to go there because I don't need y'all my business, and I don't need y'all guessing what I mean by sleep. And I really, quite frankly, don't feel like explaining my relationship to y'all like that, because I know some of y'all gonna have so much shit to say in the comments. I'm just gonna have to fight it off, and all the pick-me's are gonna be mad that I dissed the passport bros and other stuff like that. When I have to cry it out and just. But no, like, in all seriousness though, I feel like if you have somebody that loves you and they love you back, be happy, show up for them. Be the best you that you can be. Give 100% of yourself and get out the gender roles in your relationships. As a bi woman, I have dated both men and women, and I can tell you by having experiences, great experiences both and bad with both, that a relationship, no whether you're straight, gay, bi, pan, whatever, is only as good as the work that you put into it. You have to work on your relationship. Your relationships are like jobs. They can be like side jobs and side hustles if you want to think of it like that. But your relationship with your wife or your husband or your they, them, whatever, is gonna be as good as you putting work in. Like, you taking time out, you seeing what they like, you taking time out to go spend time with them, sacrificing a day or two to go spend with them, like showing up, doing things that you know what I mean. I ain't saying bend over backwards and change yourself, but sometimes just showing up with love and saying, hey, I love you, and I just want to spend time with you. Sometimes that's good enough. Sometimes it's just reminding your partner why they're important to you is better. Sometimes showing up and not having anything to say at all is good. Sometimes just being present is all that you need to be. Sometimes you don't have to have the answers. Sometimes you don't have to have the solution. And with that being said, if you love somebody, love them right the first time. Don't be doing shit that you don't want your partner doing to you. Or if you are like playing role reversal and shit like that. Like, literally, if you ever wanted to know if you did something wrong to your partner or something that you feel that you don't know how you should feel about, literally go out there and ask yourself. Like, literally sit back in that bitch and be like, yo, on some real ass shit. If I was them and it was me, and they were me doing this shit, right? And I probably felt, because you know how your partner feel about you. Sit back and be like, damn, or your partners, because some of y'all are poly. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that, boo boo. But like, literally sit back and be like, huh, damn. I really hit my bitch, but I want somebody to hit me upside my head because we got into an argument. Nah. Would I want somebody to flatten my tires because they did this shit? Nah. What would I do if I had the choice and I really wasn't deeply in love? Like, sometimes you have to take yourself out of your, like, I'm telling you. So when y'all be like, ah, man, it's okay for me to hit my bitch. Is it okay for your bitch to hit your ass back and knock you out and almost kill you? Is it okay for her to go out there and cheat on you? No, 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 no. I don't want to hear all this a man thing, it's a woman thing. We could do this. Nah. Sometimes we be like, ah, man, so that mean, nah. Some people don't like to be taken care of. Some people like to be taken care of. Some people like doing the taking care of for others. You need to find a partner that fits whatever you're into. Somebody that's going to love you. If you know that you like to be taken care of and you don't like lifting up a pretty little finger, somebody don't want to take care of you and cater to you. Make sure they show up emotionally for you and all that other good shit. Make sure that even if y'all don't have the same love language as y'all speaking the same language, show up in love, show up in kindness, show up in your actions, show up in just being present and not coming up with excuses for why somebody did something. And if you know you wrong, apologize. And if you know you fucked up so bad and it can't be fixed, love that person enough to let them go. Cause sometimes you're gonna hurt people. I can't fix my relationship with my ex best friend. Cause some shit I did and some shit she did. We both crossed the line. We both took it to hell. Okay. And usually I'm like, oh, we both took it to hell, but no. And we had to love each other to learn to let each other go. Cause we would never trust each other again. We was gonna never trust each other again. Was never gonna love each other again. And if we did, it was gonna be with a lot of bitterness and resentment. Cause the shit we did, like if I say this is the boundary line back here, bitch, we would past that bitch. So if you got somebody that love you and you love them back, let them. You ain't gotta post everything. Sometimes the best love stories are kept quiet and only a few people know about. So that when a few people do tell it and it gets back to you, now you got a worldwide love story and people are like, oh man, I remember that couple that such and such showed me about. I'm telling you, I don't know. Maybe because I'm private, I feel that way. Because my love stories are iconic. There are very few people who knows about the infamous Gare Bear. Because he's not infamous, but the famous Gare Bear. Or the magnificent Rara. And the Rara was one of my favorites. Favorite sneaky links. Like, very few people know about that. And they're like, oh, that's so cute. Ah. And I'm just like, yeah. Yeah. Magazine drop. But, like, I don't know. Maybe because I just value privacy. But everything else I said is unbiased. Or is it? Well, you can always fact check me. And if you don't like what I said, I just hope we can agree to disagree. Love you. Out.